Welcome to today's VendorDome, where we have Stephen Magill, Logan Donley, and our topic is, can you accelerate delivery without compromising security? Everybody wants to go faster, but what does going faster well look like? So first, let's get our introductions done. Logan is here with me from CloudBees. Logan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I started here at CloudBees as a solution architect. And I have to apologize, I'm a bit sick right now, so my voice is probably not super strong, but hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
But now I'm a technical evangelist and work with Hope, and we work on kind of helping our customers understand really what we can do with modern DevOps practices.
All right, thank you. And Steven's here with us from Sonatype.
Yeah, hi. So I've been working in software security ever since doing my PhD in that area 15 plus years ago. I won't say how big the plus is. But yes, sort of my initial work was in static analysis and reasoning about programs. Since then, I've gotten sort of more and more interested in development workflows and the processes that you can put into place at large organizations to actually sort of apply tools in the right way, have a big impact in terms of software security. And so that's been my focus here at Sonatype. I've been lead for the last 3 State of the Software Supply Chain reports, which is an annual report that Sonatype puts out. And so we learn a lot each year with that reporting about how the community is managing open source, how enterprises are managing their use of open source. So I'm really excited today to talk about this topic and what people out there can do to really substantially improve their security.
Excellent. And I'm your moderator, Hope Lynch. I also work at CloudBees, Senior Director, Platform. My background, I've been a product manager for IoT platforms. I've managed systems engineering teams when they were called systems engineering teams. I've managed platform teams, done web development, done corporate strategy, and one of my passionate things that I've done and still continue to sneak in where I can, anything related to transformation, digital, agile business transformation. So also a reminder, you guys already know, throw your questions into speaker track 4. We want this to be a back and forth conversation if we can. So the first thing we want to establish here, because this rapid innovation, the way we're discussing it today, is tied to progressive delivery. So Logan, if you can you tell us a little bit, what is a good definition or description of progressive delivery?
Yeah, it's a great place to start. So progressive delivery is moving away from having like a large release where we roll out just one big bundle with, let's say, 10 features out to our production environment. Instead, we look at it from a feature perspective where I can roll out each feature individually to a small cohort of users. So we can start with beta users, or we could do a random 10%. And the reason this is important is because, if we think about a situation where, Stephen, Hope, and myself have all written a new feature each. And unbeknownst to us at the time, my code is actually bad. And once it's out in production, it's going to end up causing an outage. Somehow we missed it in testing. And now if we rolled it out completely, that means that 100% of our users can't access the application, a total outage. If instead we used a progressive approach where we started by rolling out, say, 10% of our users, well, it sucks for the 10% who can't access it, but the other 90% can keep using it, and it's not a total failure. That's a good step. But the problem is now, Stephen and Hope, your functions, your features are kind of beholden to mine until I figure out why mine's busted.
Right.
And so if we do something with feature flagging, this is where progressive delivery comes into play. Each of our features can be wrapped behind a feature flag. And what that allows us to do is, and this is effectively an if statement, if you're not familiar with feature flags, you wrap your new features behind an if statement, and the conditional that determines that is pushed outside of the code. And so it can be updated on the fly. And so you can determine based on who the user is. So we can do things like, if they're a beta user, they'll see this, or if it's a random percentage, they'll see it.
Mhm.
But the beautiful thing is we can just shut it off. And so if my thing breaks,
Mhm.
we roll it out to some percentage of the users, we see some errors, we turn it off, and then instantly, Stephen and Hope, your features can be used by customers. I can go figure out why, my thing is wrong, and nobody's angry at me for breaking
Yeah.
everything.
Exactly. I think progressive delivery, I know at least in my last organization, working on IoT platform, it was a fantastic thing to be able to utilize that, because it was such a critical service for our end users. And if something did go wrong, like you're saying, we could isolate it, maybe roll it back just for a specific set if they had some configuration that was just in conflict. So, and one of the other things, though, that this leads to is progressive delivery, perhaps being one of those things that does speed up innovation, right? Because, I'm always going to roll everything back to Agile. If you've known me long enough, we're going to talk about Agile at some point. But that iterative, process that you go through, you learn, you figure out, what are the changes we need to make, how do we adjust, and then you try and implement quickly. So I think progressive delivery for Agile is just such a good match, and does help that innovation just speed up so much.
I have a question about this. So,
Mhm.
what you were talking about, Logan, was, the ability to sort of, I guess, have more reliable releases, quicker rollback.